And ultimately, Congress acts when the public insists on action. And we've seen how public opinion can change. We've seen it change on gay marriage. We've seen it beginning to change on climate change. We've got to shift how we think about this issue. And we have the capacity to change, but we have to feel a sense of urgency about it. We, as a people. Have got to change. That's how we honor those families. That's how we honor the families in Newtown. That's how we honor the families in Aurora. Now, the first time I spoke at this conference, in 2008, I said that American cities shouldn't be succeeding despite Washington. They should be succeeding with some help from Washington. And as president, I've made it a priority to partner with mayors like you. That's why I've named 3 former mayors to my cabinet. That's why I asked a former president of this conference, Jerry Abramson, to be one of my top advisors. That's why my staff and I work with mayors across the country just about every day. On just about every issue under the sun. From school reform to community policing, from business development to veterans homelessness. Because mayors have to get the job done. If you're a mayor, it's not sufficient to just blather on. You actually have to do something. It's not enough to figure out how do I position myself on a particular issue to minimize the possibility that I might get in trouble or criticized because people expect to trim the trees and pave the roads. and pick up the garbage, and educate our kids, and police our streets. Whatever the problem, large or small, you got to do everything you can to solve it. You don't let partisanship stop you. You don't let cynicism stop you. You're always in the hunt for good ideas, no matter where they come from. And I'm going to embarrass Jerry for a second. He took his wife, Madeline, to Paris a few years after they got married. And she took in all the splendor of the Champs-Élysées. And he took photos of garbage. Cans. That's a mayor for you. So she teased him about it. She said, "There's the Eiffel Tower. There's the Seine." And he said, "Those are some beautiful garbage cans." And soon enough, downtown Louisville had garbage cans that looked a lot like the Parisian garbage cans. That's a mayor, right there. Somebody who's always thinking about how to make his or her city better. Even on vacation in Paris, and stops at nothing to get it done. Now, as president, I'm constantly thinking about how we, together, can keep growing the economy and growing new pathways of opportunity for the American people to get ahead. And across the country, the good news is we're making progress. And you're seeing it in your cities. More than 12 million new private sector jobs in the past 5 years. More than 16 million Americans who've gained health insurance, more jobs creating more clean energy. Here in California, solar is going crazy. We're producing 10 times as much solar power today as we did when I came into office 10 times. Three times as much wind power, double the amount of clean energy. More kids graduating from high school and college than ever before. I'm proud of that record. And by the way, we've done it while reducing the deficit by 2/3. You don't hear that much, but let me just point that out. And I'm proud of it, particularly when it's so hard to get anything through Congress. Even when we're talking about issues that most Americans outside of Washington agree on. But that's also why we partnered with many of you over the past couple of years. To make real progress on the economic priorities that matter to middle-class Americans. We're working with many of you to help working families. Make ends meet and feel more secure in a changing economy. So far, 19 cities have enacted paid sick days. Five states have enacted paid sick days or paid family leave. Oregon is set to join them soon. "17 states have raised their minimum wage. "27 cities and counties have taken action to raise the wage, as well. We're working with many of you to help working families earn higher wages down the road with skills and education they need. Seattle, a city with a Democratic mayor, Ed Murray, just passed universal pre-K. Indianapolis, a city with a Republican mayor, Greg Ballard, is starting citywide preschool scholarships. "34 states have increased funding for preschool as well. which means even more young people getting the early enrichment that can pay off over a lifetime. Three months ago, I launched an initiative called Tech Hire to help train workers for the high skill. High-wage jobs of tomorrow. "21 communities have signed up for Tech Hire so far, and we're looking to double that number." So if your town has tech jobs that need filling to people who want to fill them, come join us. We're working with many of you to generate more high-wage jobs for our workers to fill. "11 cities have joined a new initiative called Startup in a Day to help entrepreneurs apply. For all the licenses and permits they need to start a business in just one day. Cut the red tape. We're working with cities to create a network of high-tech, manufacturing hubs to keep America at the forefront of innovation. The first hub in Youngstown, Ohio is doing cutting-edge research in 3D printing. And has already attracted tens of millions of dollars in investment to the region. So we're creating jobs, we're training folks for jobs. We're also working with many of you to make our streets safer and our communities stronger. More than 230 local and tribal leaders have joined the My Brother's Keeper initiative. And are taking meaningful steps to change the odds for young people in tough circumstances. Together, you're working to curb juvenile arrests, reduce absenteeism, and you're helping these kids imagine a bigger future for themselves. Today, at the Lawrence Livermore National Lab just down the road, more than 100 students from Oakland and San Francisco are participating in the first MBK Day at the lab, where they can learn about STEM careers. And meanwhile, from police holding impromptu town hall meetings in barbershops in Charlotte. To the Boston Police Academy improving how it trains cops to deal with young people on the job. Cities like yours are striving to rebuild trust between law enforcement and communities, making sure police have the resources they need to do their job. And making sure that every police officer who has an incredibly tough job is trained in making the kinds of connections with communities that engender trust and ensure that everybody is treated equally under the law, which makes for smart law enforcement and vindicates our values. So these are just a few of the examples of the work that's being done. And I'd name every single way that we're working together to open new doors of opportunity for the American people. But we'd be here all day. So here's the bottom line. On America's most important economic priorities, from supporting working families to improving education. To creating good new jobs, to getting people to those new jobs. To improving affordable housing, to dealing with homelessness. Cities are not standing still. You are moving forward. So I want to say two things to you. Number 1. Thank you. Thank you for your leadership and your vision. And I particularly want to thank you because more than just about any other office in the land, those who occupy the office of mayor, are approaching it in a practical way. Democrats aren't clinging to dogmas, and are partnering with businesses anywhere they can. And Republicans aren't clinging to their dogmas. They're recognizing that government has a role to play in helping make for a vibrant city and expanding opportunity. And that common sense, problem solving, can-do attitude, that's what the American people are looking for. That's what they need. So I want to say thank you to all of you. You're setting a good example. Now, second, I also want to say don't stop now, because we've still got a lot more work to do. We've got to keep pushing to grow our economy so that more Americans who work hard feel like their hard work is paying off, which is why I'm working with Congress to pass new 21st century trade agreements with higher standards and tougher protections than past agreements. And I appreciate the help of many of the mayors here to get that done. Because you know it's important to your cities. I believe it's the right thing to do for American workers and families, or I would not be doing it. I want to thank all of you who helped me make that case, that this matters to your cities. We've got to keep pushing to put people to work rebuilding our infrastructure. There's not a mayor here who can't reel off 10 infrastructure projects right now that you'd love to get funding for. And that would put people to work right away and improve your competitiveness. And help businesses move their products and help people get to their jobs. We can keep paying the costs of patching over our existing infrastructure more expensive. Less efficient, leading to higher commute times, more waste. That's an option. Or we can create tens of Thousands of jobs right now building a 21st century infrastructure that makes us competitive well into the 21st century. That's what we need to do. We just got to convince Congress to make it happen. And I need mayors to help, from all across the country. Put some pressure on Congress to get this done.